So, and a quick overview of this section, and it will be on seeds. And we're going to talk about sort of the varieties and how to choose them, important considerations, and heirloom versus GMO. So to start with, let's talk about how do you choose the seeds. You might choose them from the grocery store. You might choose them from saving them from vegetables in your kitchen. You may save them from friends or families. You might go to a community garden and just strike up a conversation with someone there. Now, the important thing is probably two very important things. The first one being, ask yourself, what do I like to eat? And that's how you're going to choose which variety of seeds that you want to be bringing into your garden. Now, how do you then choose the variety? Because like if you're at the grocery store, you're going to see 10 different kinds of tomatoes, 10 different kinds of lettuce or chard or whatever that might be. How do you know which one to choose? So the next consideration would be the growing season length. So when you're looking at your gardens and you're choosing based on what you eat, then you break it down to the particular variety. That variety for me in Colorado is going to be a short season variety. So if I want watermelon, I'm going to have to buy smaller varieties of watermelon that maybe are a 90-day cycle from seed to fruit. Now, if I live in subtropical conditions, I might be able to grow great big fat ones. And it's all, your seed packets are going to tell you on the very back of it what the growing season of the cycle and the length of that particular variety is. And another thing people like to be concerned about is the history of the seed. So heirloom versus GMO. Now, in this picture, you've got kind of a community garden scenario going on. Go and check out your community gardens and your local seed banks. Sometimes they're at your local library. You can check in with them. It depends on where you're located in the world and what kind of gardening, community gardening systems there are, or even seed companies. So the point of buying local means that those seeds are generally going to be a little more familiar and have a memory of the conditions that you're working in. So here in Colorado, I'm going to try and find seeds within a certain distance of where I'm living. That can be difficult because of the conditions here. It is hard to grow food and vegetables. Nasturtiums get to be kind of clumpy, small, and hardy plants. Now, when I was in California, they were thriving and they were just spreading out and they were dropping seeds and reseeding themselves like crazy. So for me here, I don't necessarily want to buy seeds from California where the climate is so very different to where I am myself. Now you can then save seeds, and when you save seeds, you are collecting year after year after year, and every year that seeds from those plants are creating a memory to your conditions. So selecting maybe an heirloom variety local to you, growing it, and saving those seeds, you're going to have a really strong and resilient plant. Now, maybe that's very expensive. Seeds can become very expensive, especially if you're a seed hoarder like myself, and I want to try every variety that suits my growing conditions. So sometimes what I like to do is just take seeds from kitchen scraps and see what comes and what grows and how it's doing. The difference here is if it is a GMO seed versus an heirloom seed. Now, if it's grocery store produce that I am saving seeds from, maybe GMO variety. Now, the problem there is that they can be copyrighted. So I cannot make a profit off of seeds that are coming from a GMO variety. I can grow those in my garden for my own personal use, and that's fine. They will grow, they will thrive, and I can eat the food off them. I just can't sell it. That's going to be problematic. And when you save those seeds over time, they will become resilient to your conditions if they germinate. Oftentimes, they are produced not to regerminate. So, saving seeds from your local gardens, or going out and talking to community gardens and receiving seeds from them, or from your library. Our local library has a seed bank where people can exchange seeds with each other, and I love that concept. So being able to choose what you eat, Select varieties that are resilient to your conditions. Save seeds so that you create the memory in its genetics to grow strong and resilient to your climate plants and vegetables. So it is very important to make sure that you are selecting a variety that suits you personally and your environment and also your space. But that is something that you can check out on the back of the seed packet and read about to make sure that it works for you. You can also trial and error. Maybe one year you try something and you save the seeds, try it again the next year, it doesn't work out. Maybe you try a different variety. It's sometimes a case of trial and error, but get out there and just do it and share it with your friends and share it with your family. That's part of the fun, is being part of the community seed saving and sharing collective, whatever that looks like in your local region.